Hello, I am Pooja Chaturvedi and you're listening to the Lounge Podcast, a weekly show that brings you news from the world of music, movies, art and culture. Today's show is about the stand-up comedy scene in India. It is simple to get someone to cry. Just smack him over the head with a dumbbell. But how do you get people to laugh? Let's look for some answers from the experts. First up, we have Renell Heimdall, director of the upcoming comedy show Combo Comedy that features stand-up acts by Sahil Kapoor and Pranav Medha and a play titled Ishq Da Syapa, Daughter-in-Law Weds Papa. Adding local flavor, the scripts of both these segments have what they call Dilli Wali Punjabi. But what's so funny about that? Let's find out from Renell. Hi Renell, welcome to the Lounge Podcast.
Hi Pooja.
Okay, when we hear Dilli Wali Punjabi, and there are also some of these cultural humor and comedy punches that we hear in your show. So how do you present them differently to make people laugh?
We go exactly by the cultural background of the city. So Delhi is definitely a Punjabi city, more of a Punjabi cosmopolitan city. So we look at the humor that is present in the households, that is done in the domestic lives, that is between the wife and the husband, that prevails in the offices. We observe it. We observe it a lot and then we make a database out of it and then put it into a script. Making somebody laugh is very intelligent act. It is not a stupid act. You have to be very intelligent. A comedian or somebody who makes person laugh or a comic script, for that you need to be very, very aware. You should know what's happening all around you.
Okay. And do you think this trend of stand-up comedy or even stand-up entertainment shows is finally taking off in India?
Oh yes, it is. It is taking off very, very well in India. And the most important part, which I feel, which has heralded this culture, is that people are in India now able to laugh on themselves, which is very important.
Okay, thanks Mrinal. Thanks for talking to us and all the best for your shows.
Thank you so much. Take care. Bye-bye.
Bye-bye. Our next guest is Creative Director of Humor Me Productions, Dhruv Sustiva, who will be presenting his show Dinner for Prix. It's set in a fictional French restaurant and what follows is a burst of situational comedy. Let's hear the rest from Dhruv. Hi Dhruv, welcome to the Lounge Podcast.
Hi, thank you for having me.
Okay Dhruv, tell us about the concept of Dinner for Prix. How is it different from the other stand-up acts?
Basically, Dinner for Prix is not just production, it's not just entertainment where you go to, say, watch a production. It's an experience in itself. The reason it's different is because here, for just one evening, a fantastical fictional restaurant pops up for just a few hours where you can get reservations for only a few hours. So naturally, the whole experience is that you get to dine at a fictional restaurant that normally does not exist, and it's called Le Cigar Volant, which is literally translated as the flying cigar. And it's this ultra-decadent French sort of restaurant where you go and you dine in this fictional restaurant that just pops up for one evening. And you're witness to a situational drama and comedy that plays out in a musical sort of melange around you, and you're greeted by these fantastical service of extraordinary legal waiters as well. So the whole thing is an experience, right from the fact that when you get a call from this fantastical concierge to when you show up to the fact that you get greeted by these starry-eyed debutantes who take you to this restaurant that normally does not exist as a fake waiter service, a fake menu. And then you get to listen to the jabber from across the tables, which is quite scandalous, but it's a situational comedy. You're in this fictional restaurant experiencing a real-time situational comedy. So it's not like going and watching just a production. It's an entire experience.
Yes. Also, Humor Me has always tried to move beyond the stadium entertainment. Why is that?
The whole concept of Humor Me was saying that does entertainment have to be confined to the auditorium or to watching a film or switching on a television or switching on the radio where you tune into entertainment? Or does entertainment go beyond that? Can entertainment be as a sort of regular part of your life? So imagine if life was actually like the movies and that life had a background score. What if your regular life was made like the movies?
How difficult is it to catch people unaware and entertain them?
The thing is that it's done in a fabulously well drawn out manner where you have also fabulous scripts and great actors and fabulous tech support, then it's not difficult. then it's easier, in fact, because people get entertained because they don't expect it.
Okay, so concept entertainment and stand-up acts. Do you think this trend is moving up in India?
I mean, till 3-4 years back, stand-up comedy wasn't very big in this country either. And now it's almost become like a cliche. It's almost become like, oh, stand-up comedy. It's almost become like, oh, I've gone there, done that, been there, seen it. It's because we're an exposed audience. A lot of us have traveled. Also, the kind of audience stand-up comedy attracts is an audience that has traveled to other parts of the world and have sort of witnessed the best of what live entertainment in that capacity has to offer. But for instance, like improvisation as an art form hasn't been really explored in this country. This is something that Humor Me is also exploring now.
Yeah, that's true. Dhruv, thanks for talking to us and all the best for your future shows.
Thank you so much.
Combo Comedy will be held at the Alliance Francaise on 6th April from 6:30 p.m. onwards. If you want to dine at the fictional restaurant of the Dinner for Prix, you can go to the Grand New Delhi, Vasant Kunj, Phase 2 on 7th April. The show timings are 6 p.m. to 8 p.m. and 9 to 11 p.m. And with this, it's time to bid goodbye until we meet next week. If you happen to see the shows, do share your thoughts with us at feedback@livemint.com. Thanks for listening in and have a great weekend.